The Nemesis uses his power of the T virus to infect survivors, increase his range attack, and has free information built into his kit from his zombies. Here's how his mutation tiers work. The Nemesis begins the trial in Mutation 1 and can tier up his mutation the more he uses his power. In Mutation 1, his Tentacle Strike can't break walls or downed pallets, has a max range of 5 meters, and reduces his movement speed while he's holding. To tier up, he has to gain 5 contamination points. In Mutation 2, his Tentacle Strike can now destroy breakable walls and dropped pallets, and his holding speed is increased. Once he gains another 9 contamination points, he enters the final phase. Mutation 3, same perks as before, but with his new tentacle range of 6.5 meters. Survivors will hear an audible chime whenever the Nemesis tears up, and can also identify the level of Nemesis mutation by looking at his arm. Here's how Nemi earns contamination points. He earns 3 points for hitting an uncontaminated survivor, which will infect them and give them a 20% hindered effect for 2 seconds. This initial infection won't injure the survivor, but will leave them vulnerable to future tentacle strikes or attacks from his zombies. He gets 1 point for hitting a survivor who is already infected, which will then take a health save from that survivor. He can also get 1 point for tentacle whipping a zombie, which will crush them, but they will respawn from beneath a random hook after 12 seconds if they're killed this way. Any survivor who is infected will begin to cough regardless of their health state, which can be useful for Nemi's tracking, but will also get the attention of Nemi's passive power, the zombies. Here's how his zombies work. Shortly after the beginning of the trial, 2 zombies will bloom from the ground and begin patrolling the map. I call them Karen and Kevin. Nemi can see the aura of his zombies at all times, which is especially useful since they're drawn to loud noise notifications, generator repairs, chest unlocks, and cries from contaminated or injured survivors. A zombie walking means that they are currently in patrol. A zombie with raised arms will give directional info on a nearby survivor. A zombie stunned and looking upwards means that they were recently blinded by a survivor. Even though they're slow, the zombies can attack survivors who get too close and follow the same contamination logic as Nemi's tentacle. Survivors can blind zombies for a short time with flashlights, flashbangs, and firecrackers, or pallet stun them to death at the cost of that resource. The respawn time for a crushed zombie is increased to 45 seconds, and they'll once again spawn from beneath a random hook. A survivor can remove their contamination by interacting with the Nemesis crate for a single-use vaccine. Each trial spawns 4 of these vaccines, which they can use to cure themselves or another teammate. Once cured of infection, Nemi will be notified via Killer Instinct for 3 seconds, regardless of where he is on the map.